Hi, this is Father Louis Scurti back with part 2 of a very interesting segment with Dana Costello, part of the girl gang. Now, usually that sounds bad, like a guy couldn't call women girls, but it's her logo, and Dana came up with this idea of walking and climbing and going at peaks throughout the country and foreign countries. We'll get back to where later on. Dana, this is wonderful being back with you.
Yes, thank you.
Tell me, in the country, okay, the peaks that you hit, what were the most memorable state peaks?
It's funny because I walk away from each one of them being memorable in a different way.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
Great.
there isn't a peak that I'm disappointed with. And when you think peak, you think you have to climb up to the top of something.
Right.
But the United States has the Great Plains, some very flat areas.
Okay.
So when you're driving and you have to get to Nebraska, the highest peak in Nebraska, it is flat. It just so happens that that point on someone's private property,
No.
on a farm in the middle of a bison farm, is where the highest peak in Nebraska is.
Stop.
Yeah. So it was so cool.
And you've
and
done
we were
that.
like, oh yeah, we did that
With
one.
bison walking around.
Yeah, bison walking around. So, but we had to stay in our car for that one
Okay.
because the bison it's a liability, it's private property. So when we got there, we thought we were going to have at least a little bit of a walk, even though it was going to be flat, to see the high peak.
Right.
And at the end of a high peak, there's usually a mailbox, a sign-in book, people encouraging people,
Oh,
and you get to
interesting.
see who logged in from all over the world.
Yeah. That's fantastic.
Yeah, so it's really cool.
So you
So-
think Nebraska was one of the most memorable? Even though it
Well,
wasn't
I
such a
wouldn't
peak?
say most memorable. I would just say it was interesting in that it was flat and we were in the middle of bison and had to drive a dirt road for hours to get to this. So even though it wasn't hard physically, the driving sometimes,
Yeah.
getting to these areas. Kansas was another one. You know.
Really?
Yeah, it was just miles and miles of dirt and dry and I live in New Jersey.
Yeah,
we don't have this.
Yeah,
we don't
yeah.
have tumbleweeds. I drove through. It was my turn to drive actually, and I drove through a tumbleweed storm. The tumbleweeds were flying and hitting the windshield, and I kept braking because it was like an animal. It was like I brake, and everyone was like, "Stop braking!" And I'm like, "I brake for tumbleweeds. I'm sorry." Like they are literally pounding. We have video of it. I mean, it was like I felt like Dorothy.
It was,
I was like,
was that Kansas?
yeah, well, no, that was Texas, but yeah, we were very close that area.
Wow, this is fantastic.
Yeah, Oklahoma.
Okay,
yeah.
12 women in one van.
Yes.
How did that go?
Surprisingly amazing.
Good.
No
good.
drama with these girls.
Oh,
no
thank
drama.
God.
Everyone is there
See,
on a
fresh
mission.
air helps everything.
Yes. Get outside. Even when
Yeah.
the kids act up, I said, get outside, run around the house a couple times, come back in. But yeah, I mean, these women are great, and it's a rigorous schedule. There's a lot of driving. There's a lot of driving between peaks. There's a lot of packing and unpacking. We're only allowed a minimal amount of stuff too,
Right, even though you
because
carry
we
a
have
lot.
to fit in the van
Right.
with our bags. So
And when you land, okay.
yes.
Hotels, motels, camping, tents?
A wide variety.
Really?
A
Like
wide
name
variety. We have stayed in some sketchy places, for sure. We actually now we're gonna check the crime rate of the area before we
That's
stay
sketchy.
anywhere.
That's sketchy.
Yeah. So we pulled up and there was like double pane glass between us and the check-in in the lobby, and we're like, okay. Like,
I won't ask where that was.
I was going to say, we're not in Kansas anymore, but we were almost in Kansas. Like, we were on the border of Kansas. So I guess, yeah. So, but we ended up staying there and we made it through the night alive and, it was good.
So you actually stayed in some motels?
Yeah.
Okay.
Motels, Airbnbs, camping.
All of it?
All of it. Big mix.
Really?
Because when you get to these peaks, there's nothing around. There's nothing. I mean, we had a restaurant in Burlington, Colorado. We were on the east side of Colorado.
Just listening to this. So fascinating. Burlington, Colorado.
Yeah.
Okay, go
Yeah,
ahead.
I mean, these are
Yeah.
places no one talks about.
Right.
But there was one restaurant in town, and we happened to be there on a Monday when the restaurant was closed. And, all of us have a job. So one girl has the job of making reservations and making sure that the restaurant, especially during COVID, could
Yeah,
take 12
yeah,
people. Do we need
yeah.
2 tables? Is it outside, inside?
Right.
All of that. She called the owner, and the owner said, yes, we will open for you guys.
Whoa.
She did a beautiful reception. There was a sign, welcome G2.
Stop.
Yeah, really
And
sweet.
where was this?
This was in Burlington, Colorado, after we did the Kansas
Great.
Peak, which
Thank you,
is...
Burlington.
Yes,
For your
yes.
hospitality.
It was yes. It was
Excellent.
called Dish, I believe. It was the name of the restaurant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I could look that up.
Did you guys
It was excellent.
ever have to cook for yourselves, like when you were camping?
Oh yeah. Yeah. We cook for ourselves. We bring peanut butter and jelly and bread and make our own sandwiches before we head
staple.
out. Yeah. I mean, without peanut butter and jelly, I don't know what we do.
Yeah,
and beef
exactly.
jerky. We have tried every type of jerky. From turkey jerky to bacon jerky to, I don't eat fish, but there is salmon jerky out there.
Wow.
I'm not eating that one,
No,
but
no.
they said it was good. I'll go with that. But yeah, so
At the end of each peak, did you have a sense of accomplishment, a sense of health? What'd you come
Yes.
out with?
yes, I mean, when you get all 12 girls to the top for that picture, all together, because there's different paces.
Sure.
But the goal is to hopefully get everyone together at the top for a photo. At the same time and be able to eat. But, weather plays a big piece in this.
Oh,
I mean, there was,
yes.
we were in Oklahoma and the wind was so, we couldn't even hear ourselves. I actually was videotaping the way down, like sending a message home, and I
Yeah.
sent it and they're like, we can't even hear you talk. Like, I didn't even realize.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
So, depending on where we are, it is a big accomplishment. And to see this group of women empowering women. And one girl might have a really good day one day and be tired the next, and you got to push her along. And, so.
That's great. Women empowering women. That's great. That's a good motto. You mentioned we all get up there. You seem to imply that not everybody got to the peak at the same time.
Yeah, a few minutes, maybe a half hour
Okay.
between like the fastest to the slowest.
Okay.
It's not a huge difference.
Okay.
And the stronger everyone gets, everyone's training at a different level. Some people
Right.
started training at the beginning. This was their training. Some people
Oh,
were already in
interesting.
shape when we started. So, but now we've all kind of closed the gap. And Mount Marcy was a big one last week when we did Mount Marcy, which is the highest peak in New York.
Oh,
We
really?
all got up there
Talk
at the
about
same
that.
time.
That's
That was great.
fascinating.
That's in Lake Placid.
Okay.
It's a tough one. It's a 15-mile hike.
Starting point where?
Starting point is in Lake Placid.
Okay, and
in
then
the
you
town
go-
of Lake Placid, right
okay.
outside, and you hike up to the highest point in New York. Beautiful. And we had blue skies, and everyone kept saying you're going to get black flies. It's black fly season, so you have to know what's out there.
A lot of
So we had the
spread.
netting,
Nets. Oh, okay.
but
Good.
we didn't need it.
Good.
Yeah,
good.
they're on a delayed spring by 2 weeks, so flies weren't awake yet. So we
That's
lucked out.
Great.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Just a COVID kind of question. Did all the women have shots, have the vaccinations at that point?
Yes. So the
Okay.
last trip that we took, everyone was vaccinated.
Great.
It was great.
Any negative effects on any body as part of that group?
In
Bug bites, cuts, scrapes.
knock on wood.
Oh, knock on wood. Okay.
No, I mean we all fall. You stumble. One girl we call Mudslide. She always seems to find herself in the mud. Everyone gets a trail name, But
What was your trail name?
I'm called Butter because I had a stick of butter in my backpack because we were doing like a dinner thing, a
Okay.
Friendsgiving in the woods one day, and 3 months later that stick of butter was still in my backpack and I didn't even know it. So I'm Butter. Yeah.
That's great. That's great. Now, these are diverse group of women from diverse geographic areas.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
what's the furthest person you met?
In the group, I mean, some were born outside of the United States, but in the group, we have someone that comes from Queens, which sounds like it's close. You're in New Jersey, Queens, but we all know getting
Yes.
across two
Yeah.
bridges,
Yeah.
and to be in New Jersey for a 5 a.m. departure from Queens, it takes dedication,
Yeah,
and I always say the hardest part is getting out of bed, guys. We got this. As long as we can get out of bed and get, and meet up on time, we're good.
Was there a motto that you guys carried with you, like "Go ahead" or "Go girls"?
So we always say, "Hey, G2,
Okay.
G2." But I mean, I would say our motto is we're only as fast as our slowest hiker.
Okay, respect.
So-
yeah, good.
That's
good.
the pace,
That's
So we are not leaving anyone behind.
Youngest participant.
Youngest participant is 34, and she's actually from Florida. So yeah, she's our furthest one.
And
She actually flies up.
flies
Yes,
up here
sorry.
to meet you guys.
She flies up.
That's
She'll fly up. She just flew up for Mount Marcy in New York. Yeah. And now that we're flying to get to different peaks, she just flies from Tampa and meets us. So,
Okay, good. Okay, at the beginning we mentioned that you're covering states in the United States, but you've been
yes.
outside our borders.
Yes. I mean, backpacking trip wise, we did Peru. There was the starting group, the four of us. That we did Peru. We did Machu Picchu and Rainbow Mountain, the Asagante Mountains. Yeah, which was elevation.
Oh, yeah. Any breathing problems?
So,
Yeah.
on that trip, we did have a major problem. One of the girls did get pulmonary edema. She had to be evacuated out. Yeah. Tied her to a horse with an oxygen tank. Yeah, it was.
Wow.
Yeah, it was frightening.
Yeah.
Very, very frightening. But, the hospitals in Peru were amazing.
Well, they're ready for that.
They're ready.
Yeah,
They know,
yeah. I remember the hotel we stayed at, the lobby had a series of booths with oxygen at every booth. And I walk in the first time, I was like, what's this all about?
Exactly.
Well, the second day I knew what they were all about.
Oh, yeah. The pounding headache that never goes away. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, and we're sea level people. We live at sea level, so it's really going to affect us.
But your pictures, your photos must be unbelievable.
Yes.
You have an album or a
Well, we post a lot
series?
on Facebook and Instagram, and I am, in the middle of. I'm really bad with making photo albums. Yeah.
Well, your book will have a lot of photos.
Yes. Oh, the book will have a lot of photos.
That's how we originally met. I mean, not originally met.
Right.
But for this topic, you were being interviewed, and how did that woman contact you?
She was looking for people, women that found something healthy to do during COVID that had a different effect of COVID, because so many people were having negative effects. So she was looking for stories of health and getting stronger during COVID.
Excellent.
And that's what our group has done.
And she found you.
Yes, someone reached out to her and told her about our group, that there's this group of women that's been hiking around America and, told her our story. And she called me and said, do you want to be on the radio show? And
Whoa.
I said, sure.
And had we not heard that, I wouldn't be here
Right,
now.
right. And I can't believe you heard it, because I never even got to hear it.
You can call it the radio show. No.
Right.
But this is going to be far better.
Right.
They can see you.
Yes.
Okay, we're going to pick up.
Okay.
I'm not answering right now, but we'll focus on any auxiliary assistance from people, guides, things like that, or even what to carry. I'm interested in all those questions.
Okay.
We'll get back to them. This has been Father Lou with Dana Costello talking about Girl Gang, healthy group that came together during COVID and is still going strong. Thank you for joining us. Let me hear from you, Father Lou SCURTI at hotmail.com. God bless you.